Welcome back to the Cloud Monkey Room. Great to have you all. Once again, I'd like to say great to see so many new faces, great to see so many old faces. Not you, Dan. And just to mention, let's once more say thank you to our sponsors. They have been great to support us, to give us lunch breaks, to have this facility, and to have coffee breaks and everything. So yeah. And now over to Swen to tell us his story with Packer.
Yeah, thank you very much. So first of all, a little bit about me. I'm the founder, CEO of proIO. proIO is an open source company, but I will tell you more in the next slide. I'm an open source fan since the beginning. Yes, I'm a Mario Kart enthusiast. So if you also want to play a round of Mario Kart, tell me, we can meet online and we can play a little bit. proIO was founded in 2004. I do not want to bore you with these slides. We're using CloudStack since 2013, so we are really long-time users and long-time participant of the community. What makes proIO special is that we are really focused on open source. So we are using open source where it's possible to use open source. And we're doing this since, 2004. We believe that the only way to have a sovereign cloud and data protection is using open source software. Because, of course, you can say our data center is in the EU, so it's GDPR compliant. No, it's not. It really depends which software you're using. Because when you're using, for example, Azure Stack or any other stack which is a closed black box for you, you're not really sure what's happening inside this, even if the data is located in Germany. So we're using CloudStack for managed hosting, private clouds, and public clouds. So common use cases, I would say. Now my question, who is using Packer or who knows Packer? And using too? Okay. So I make it quick. So you all know what Packer is, but Packer is an open source tool developed by HashiCorp, used to create identical images for multiple platforms. So you have one configuration, you have several plugins which are communicating with the platform you want to create the template or image for, and you put the configuration on top of it, and Packer is doing the rest. So our goal was to use Packer to create templates for CloudStack in CloudStack. So we want to get rid of any hardware, any VM, anything else outside of our CloudStack installation to be able to create a working template, self-registering and stuff like that. Only the testing, this was not part of this goal, but anything else should be inside CloudStack. So yeah, we started with the plugin, and it is a long way to go, and it's pun intended. We used this the first time, and I will just show you what the actual situation is with Packer. So let me see. This is. I will show you first the Cloud UI. So that's a demo account in our productive cloud. It's just a domain separated. So what I already did is I installed a virtual machine and installed Packer on it. That's it. I installed also Go on it, but you will see why I did this. But let's say it's just Packer is installed. So we see that I will mute. Let's take a look at the Packer config file we are using. So we have, and by the way, the key, the user will be deleted after this presentation, so I can show you the secret key and the API key. So what we have is, at the top, We are including the plugin, the public available plugin from HashiCorp or from the community. And then we have some settings here. I do not want to go into the settings. I think if you're using Packer, you are aware of the settings. And there's a good documentation. So now I want to just install the plugin itself. So when we take a look, we see now version 1.02 is installed successfully. And when I now doing a build, we know what's happening. Packer is running, is starting up a virtual machine. We can take a look. Here. There it is. It's starting, and this is all working today. So nothing special here. The only thing where we stuck is the following. We are using a default Ubuntu image. The problem is that we do not see anything, but there it is. It will, and I will just stop it here. It will just be waiting here, trying or install. So if you just let it run, you are stuck. This is no automation anymore. Packers will fail because we are now is booting up, but we're now going back to the language selection. That's the first screen you see in the default wizard of Ubuntu installation. So, we did some investigation, and there are solutions for other plugins in Packer. For example, for the Qemu plugin, you will now see that he's trying now to boot some cloud in it, and now you're here, and that's it. So automation ends here. We did take a look at other plugins, and we found out that, there is some kind, and you see it's just stuck. I will just stop it. Packer is really nice. He's doing the cleanup for you. That's really good. Other plugins using variable called boot command. And a funny thing is that boot command is in the documentation of the CloudStack plugin. It's mentioned there, but it's not really available. So maybe somebody had good things in mind, but didn't think it through. So the problem is, as I told you, boot command is part of the documentation, but not part of the plugin. No automatic template creation with standard ISO is possible because you're just stuck and you need to intervene manually. And it works. When you do it manually, Packer will just continue as soon as is possible to connect via SSH. The idea is we have access to the console. We are the console proxy. So the idea was, okay, how can we use this? How can we give Packer access to the console? Problem is at this time there was no solution for that, and then came 4.18, and we have the API-driven console access. This feature was added in 4.18, and now we are able to create a WebSocket session to use the console. So there's create console endpoint API. Our next goal was to add the new API call to the CloudStack Go repo. This is a community-driven repo, and it's easy to implement new API calls. So this was the first step we did to add this API call. And we thought, okay, perfect, we are safe. Anything will work from now on. That wasn't the case. We run into a big error. We are just struggling with it. And there was helping from the CloudStack user mailing list. We got some strange errors, but at the end it was just an authentication problem. the Packer plugin, the Packer CloudStack plugin is using let me rephrase it. Other plugins using the Go VNC repo from GitHub to use to create connections to a VNC console. So our way was, okay, why not using the same way, using the same repo? And then we run into this error because the Go VNC repo is really old. It's now the problem is it's archived now, so it's not up to date. And we needed a new authentication method in it. It's just a couple of lines of code. We tried to merge a pull request, but there were so many pull requests open and nothing was happening. So we forked it. We forked it and we implemented it into our own plugin. And I will show you that. So it's a, oh, that's not good. Let me take a look if I can. So what we did is we also forked the Packer plugin, the CloudStack plugin. Okay, this is when you rely on a demo on the internet. And I'm going via my cell phone because the Wi-Fi is not really good here. Okay. Please keep finger crossed that this is working. So the first thing I will do now, and by the way, I have attached a how-to to the slides. So when you download the slides, you get the how-to and you can reproduce it at home. So no need to do some notes, stuff like that. So what I am doing is I will now delete. I will delete the plugin we installed from the. I will just make it quick and dirty, if it's working. Yes, slow and dirty. It's not good. If it's not working, I just need to tell you what we did. Okay, let me see if I can maybe show it you via the slides. If you have. I also have my cell phone, but it worked the whole day, and now it's not. Okay.
Do you have Ethernet? Because there's a cable there.
We also, I can try it. Let's give it a try. But we had the same. I had the same problem with the cable.
Yeah, me too yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see if I'm. No. It's not even resolving. Okay, let's try. Let me see if no internet. Oh, well, let me see. Let me check. Okay, it's working again. Let's see how long. Sorry for that, but it's 2024. You cannot be sure that you have Wi-Fi. So. Okay, it's not working. Okay, let me show you the slides. Okay. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm just deleting. I try to be fast, but it's stuck again. Okay. You need to delete the. The plugin again because we are going to install. So we are going to install. So you need exactly you need to install Go because we need to build a new plugin. We install a Packer. I just made it how to complete. Then you can clone my repository for the Packer plugin. Go in, just build it, and then install it locally on your computer. So what then happening is, and I hope I can show you that, you are now able to to provide boot commands to it. Maybe we will try your Wi-Fi again. Then I can show it a little bit better. So this one?
I think this one.
Okay, let's try. Thank you. Okay. So I will do it here too. So you need to just delete the installed plugin, which I will just delete the whole GitHub folder because it's the only plugin I installed. So I already compiled it, so to save us time, didn't work because of Wi-Fi, now you just need to install it. So, and what you now see is that when you take a look, you see that it's a dev version. So that's the thing. So let's take a look at the Packer config file now. It looks the same, no difference, and the only difference is now that you have the boot command. And this looks a little bit strange. So because you just need to present the keyboard which you want to use. So it's like for Ubuntu, I just do a wait, then I go into the bootloader, I will go down, you see what, and I do, I think it's 22 writes, and then a space bar, and then I will just add, there are other ways to do it. And then you will just, I will just add this line into it. I will provide this IP address hard-coded here. It's an issue we are talking about later, I hope. This is the IP address of the Packer server, because Packer is spinning up an HTTP service. And we are going to provide user data via this. And I'm not pressing F10. This would be totally automatic, because I want to halt the console there to show you that it really worked. That's it. So let's try it. I do not need to init because we already installed it, but I will just do it anyway. But you see, it's installed and everything is okay. Let me see if I made some. Now I have both installed. That's interesting. Okay, let me fix this. Let me fix this to be sure. Okay. So it's the dev version again. So we're doing a Packer build, and now we're using this file. So the same thing happens. It's preparing, and now the important thing is, do not open the console via UI or anything else until all commands will be sent to it, because the session will be terminated. You cannot open two sessions at once. And you see now he's typing the boot commands over the VNC. This is taking some time, not really long, but he really needs to send each command.
Is there a timeout between the commands? Or how does it know that it pressed whatever next and the following dialog?
No, he's just pressing it. There's no input, no backward, nothing back. And now you see it's finished, and I implemented the 30 minutes SSH wait.
There's a picture as a feedback.
Yeah.
You need some AI to recognize it.
So, and when we now take a look, and okay, this VM is of course not there anymore because we Packer deleted it. This is the new one, and when you now take a look at the console, you see he was just typing exactly that, and that's it. And now we can press F10. Of course, we normally we would have added this to the thing, and then he will boot. He will get the user data, and he will run through everything automatically. It will take too long to wait until it's finished with the template generation. But what will happen is that Packer will when it's finished, will shut down the VM, will create a template out of it, and register it automatically. But I need to talk to you regarding some issues, and it's important that I need some feedback from the community. If we proceed, how we want to proceed. Let me get back to my presentation. Okay, it will start from the beginning. So, because we are not really at the end at the moment, we are closer to the goal, but it's still a long way to go. Or it's a way to go. I'm not sure if it's long. So, the problem is now that Packer, the Ubuntu installation will reboot itself normally at the end when it's finished. Packer is not aware of when this is happening, and the ISO is still mounted in CloudStack. So what will happen? The VM just boots into the ISO again. That's the problem. So we need to solve. So we need some kind of, I talked to Dan about it, maybe some kind of pull mechanism from Packer to just see if, what we can do during the Ubuntu installation is we can say make a shutdown at the end and not a reboot. That's possible. So then the VM is shut down. CloudStack needs to be aware that it's shut down, because from CloudStack point of view, it's just running because you made the shutdown inside of the VM.
I'm not sure, but maybe it's possible for CloudStack to recognize if ISO is ejected. So inside operating system, if you run a command to eject the ISO from the CD-ROM drive, CD-ROM drive, maybe CloudStack will unmount the ISO.
Ubuntu is unmounting the drive, but it will not be unmounted in CloudStack. This is a good approach, yeah. So we need, anybody needs to tell anyone that we need to unmount the ISO now. the Go VNC repo is archived. So do we have an alternative? Do we using the forked one? I cannot to be honest, I'm not a developer. I cannot really maintain a Go VNC forked repository. So we need to just think about it. Maybe there are some alternatives or other ways to use this. Some Packer variables are not working at the moment. I think that's a problem with the CloudStack plugin. I'm not sure about it because you saw that I hard-coded the IP address of the Packer server. This should have worked just to be more flexible and do not need to hard-code anything. But I just got no value out of it. It says no value instead of an IP address. So the mechanism is working, but the address of the Packer address is not provided in this variable. So we need to take a look into this. Yeah, the Packer plugin, the pull request is still not merged, and it's open for months now. Maybe that's a good thing because maybe we need to alter it anyway and update him. 5 minutes. Do we have use cases for this? That's just really a question. Is there any use case creating templates within CloudStack itself? So just think about it, because we do not need to focus energy into a project where there's no really use case of it.
I think there is for any operator, and that's reacting to CVEs.
Mm-hmm.
So they would update their templates if any CVE comes out for an operating system. So yes, I think there's a good use case that is globally applicable.
Okay. Okay, good to know. Good to know. And yeah, just let's discuss. So this is not really ready for production. It's our steps in the right direction. We have now the ability to use boot command, like in the Qemu plugin of Packer, like in the VirtualBox plugin of Packer. This has already been possible. So we are step closer to the goal, but I need your help, or the community needs help. Let's make it happen. Let's see, start a discussion and see if we can reach the goal together. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. And this is my LinkedIn, so if you want to connect with me, just
Goes down.
Thank you. Great thing. And yes, a lot of work to do. So one question is, do you have any view on how big that repository is that is now archived?
I think it's not really big repository. Let's check.
And then, of course, we can slim it down to serve only our use, because it might be more generic than what we need it for.
Okay, just for your information, I have a glossary added to the slides with all the links. So if you have the slides, then you can also...
and of course, start a discussion item on the GitHub for this.
I will do. I just wanted to wait, because if the response is, I don't know why we should do this, then wouldn't open one. So you see, it's 11 years ago. It's a long time. Nothing happened, but it doesn't really look big to me. But as I mentioned, I'm not a developer. Yeah.
But is there an alternative?
I didn't find one.
Does CloudStack offer network booting of VMs?
Not that I am aware of.
By default, with KVM, it tries PixieBoot. And then it connects to network.
Okay.
PixieBoot is a solution if network booting is possible.
But you're not really doing it with CloudStack Adapter.
Exactly. This was my goal, just to be inside CloudStack to create it.
We could compare PixieBoot on virtual router.
So you can do it in a number of ways. Create templates.
You can also use Jenkins on the outside and stuff like that. It's all possible. You can just, what we did long time is we're using Packer, but we have a standalone KVM host creating the things, or using Jenkins. I remember years ago, more than 10 years maybe, we tried Jenkins and using API calls to register. So there are many ways. I mean, all of you are generating templates, I guess, when you're using CloudStack. But the goal here was really to do it inside CloudStack. These are the links for the sources I used, and this is the how to install the Packer plugin.
1 more minute for final question.
The boot command, can we use a kickstart file, pass a kickstart file to the boot command? And
When you want to install Red Hat stuff like that, then
Yeah,
it's a kickstart file. Yeah, in Ubuntu it's another way to do auto installation.
okay.
It's I think it's called ZubiQuickie, something like this. And you need to just provide the user data.
Yeah, in the CloudStack Packer, there's a user data parameter also.
Okay.
How different is that from a boot command? Like
The problem is with the default ISO of Ubuntu, you need to tell in the grep line to use the auto installer at all. What you can do is, of course, you can download the ISO for the Ubuntu ISO, alter it outside of CloudStack, upload it to CloudStack with already everything in it. That's also possible, but it's as I told you, the goal was inside CloudStack.
It's 1990s.
Yeah.
Zip files and then
Exactly.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. We're out of time. It's time for break, like coffee break. Back here in 20 minutes.
Thanks, guys.